Alright, well, today we're going to work on a customer project. It's a toilet paper holder for Steven that stands on the floor, about 2 foot tall. So we'll go ahead and get some boards cut, and he wants cut, torched. We'll put them together and polyurethane. I'll show you the final project after that. Alright, well, the bit that the toilet paper sits on, we'll use dowel rod for that, and this dowel rod's about a little over 6 1/4, so we'll cut it at 5 inch, and we'll take that last little 1 1/4, turn it upright so that way the toilet paper can't move out. You'll see that here in a minute. Alright, we got the 5 inch mark here. See, so I cut my 5 inch here, and we have this little inch. We're going to take and cut it out so it looks something like that. Alright, per Steven's request, he wants it 2 foot tall, 8.5 wide. I think 8.5 wide has to be, could be wrong. So we're going to do 2 boards at 7 inches, which is 3/4 of an inch wide, 3/4 of an inch wide. That's going to give you their 8.5 wide total. We're going to do 2 foot tall, so it'll be 2 foot 3/4 inch. I don't think the height really makes that big of a difference. And then we got a 14 inch board we got to cut for the top. We just cut the dowel for the toilet paper. So let's go ahead and get to cutting. Alright, I'm going to torch these now. We'll torch them, and then we'll do all the measurements we need to do, and then we'll put it together. It's got fingerprints on it. Now we'll get the rest of these done. Go from there. myself here. I measured half the thickness of this. And then I took the 5-inch dowel rod, stuck it up there and marked the edge. So now I got a line that I can cut on the bandsaw. That way I can glue these two together to get that toilet paper holder part. There we go. So now, that's exactly how that'll get glued on there. Right now what I'm doing is those little furries that you've seen. I'm just taking this file and knocking them off. That way when I glue them together, you don't have those furries mucking about. All the little furry edges there. Just taking a hit and knocking them off. Making them disappear. Move this over here. Now you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to take glue. Put a bit of glue on there. I'll put a bit more so that way I know it bites. Alright. Now that that's there, we're just going to take and clamp it together, and I will just let her sit and dry. I looked at the plans he had again, and he wanted 14-inch on the bottom and 10-inch on the top. If I would have known that, I would have added 3/4 of an inch to either side of these to make that happen. But I decided to take 3/4 of an inch off of the bottom part, so when you put it together, you have 13 3/4 of an inch instead of 14-inch, and you have 10-inch at the top. So first thing I did was draw a line at the 14-inch mark. I don't know if you can see that line or not. From bottom to that line, I just drew a line at 14-inch. What I'm going to do is, since torching it brought out these fingerprints, I'm going to put them on the inside so they're a little harder to see. You're not really looking directly at the sides when you're looking in there. That is an interesting marking. Bought some gloves a while back and they just tore. It's a good thing we only just need the fingertips. But I put it on and it just tore right up. Alright, so what we're going to do here is rub some glue on a 7-inch board. going to take one of the 14-inch boards. Up to the corner if I can. That didn't work like I was hoping. Don't do that. I think I want it to stick in all the way. I'll have to put these on and I'm gonna have to wait till I get the hole drilled in for that. Second one. Might be about that time to what do it there. On the line. Sometimes it makes it easier just to do it this way. That way I can look at the line and know exactly where I'm at. Two sticky heads. Push it tight. Alright, after doing some measurements here, I realized I didn't account for the thickness of this board. So we knew this was going to be 13 1/4. From this to this is 9 1/4. I didn't count for the thickness of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from the top, mark 4 1/2, which is about close to the center of that. I don't have to be exact center on it. So now I'm going to get the center, find the center of the board itself, and that's where I'm going to draw the toilet paper portion of that. Alright, found the center point. Now what we're going to do is drill a hole through it. Drill bit I'm using is big enough for the whole thing to go through. This ain't what we're screwing into. We're screwing into the base of that, and that's what the small drill bit's going to be for, so that way I can pilot drill that. Use 1 5/8" drywall screws. Yep. That'll go all the way in there, and then it'll screw right into that toilet paper part. Alright, this is dried good enough where I can do what I gotta do. And then we'll let her dry a little bit more. Well, that was unexpected. Left a nifty little pattern in the back side of that. Well, try and do the same thing I did beforehand. Where'd the pencil go? Sadly, I do this a lot. Underneath the alright. Doesn't have to be exact, just close enough. So looks close enough. All about center. Now what I'm going to do is, should be dry enough for me to do this, I don't know. But I'm going to take and torch it, and then I'm going to do that off camera. And then we can work on getting this set up and assembled the rest of the way. One thing I've noticed, this does not torch good. That's the first time I've ever torched this stuff. So what we'll do is take and sand it and get most of the black off of it. Try to get it back down to a brown. See, that's starting to look a little better now. Now it's getting a little bit more of a brownish. We'll keep going until eventually we'll get that down to a brown. Alright, I got this thing sanded down. That's a nice little shade of brown. For what we're trying to match, that'll be pretty good. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to this end, and then we can finish the assembly. Well, I'll loosen that back up, throw a little bit of glue behind it, so that way the glue kind of holds it in a little better. But I just want to get it to where I know it's good. The only thing about these glue bottles, if you don't close the lid on them, you can glue on the end. Alright. Alright, there we go. Drilled that head a little bit thicker too, so that way we get this about, yeah, it's about straight. So there's where the toilet paper is going to sit on. So glue on both of the short boards. Yeah, there's so much stuff in here. That's the only reason why I haven't grabbed a glove. Otherwise, I prefer to use a glove when doing this. Makes it a lot easier. Wipe the excess off. And then, I think what we'll do is this. That way, that'll make it a little easier here. Put one in there. Put one in there. Flip this around. Put one there. Put one there. All right. Might have enough to finish this up. There's that. Now we just gotta glue the top on there, which is as simple as this. Throw a glue on the other side of the top here. I'll let this glue set up for about an hour, and then we'll come out here and polyurethane. I need a little bit more glue. Let's see, it's soaking right into the wood. There we go. That's better. Yep. I'll grab this. must be out. Almost out. Well, I don't know why it's not. I need just one more nail, dang it. It won't give me one more nail. It wants me to load more nails in, I guess. Alright, here we have completed project. All we gotta do is polyurethane and we are good to go. Yeah, we're on to the final bit of this, which is the polyurethane. Open this can up, get her stirred, and then put a towel on the poly. Take a stir stick. Now this is all stirred up. You can set that right there to set it off to the side. Yep, here it is, the completed project. One toilet paper holder. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. I don't know what the next one will be, but stay tuned, you'll figure it out.